leader in me. It's coming through me. It's growing in me. It's showing. Yeah, 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 yeah. There's something big happening. It's perfect timing. It's my true calling. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm unstoppable, exceptional, incredible. My dream is coming true in my life. I'm unstoppable, exceptional, incredible. My dream is coming true in my life. This is my life. This is my time. I believe in me. I believe in my dream. This is my life. This is my time. I believe in me. I believe in my dream. The alarm of life goes on, and I'm ready to take it on. Nothing to stop me.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everyone. I am not seeing myself in Facebook, Mel. I don't know what's going on, but we're going to keep it moving. Hopefully it's there. I need somebody to confirm that it is on Facebook because I'm not seeing it. Okay, is that it? Nope. Because this is our life and this is our time. And okay, wait a minute. Wait. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. I just am not seeing anything that I need to be seeing. Mel, can you hear me? Give me a nod. Is it on Facebook?
You're on Facebook.
I don't see it. Okay. All right. So we're going to just pretend like and know that everything is absolutely wonderfully well. So welcome. It is March 8th, which is International Women's Day in this world. And we are going to, there I am, we're going to acknowledge the women of the world, the work that we do, the advocacy, the activism, the support, the encouragement, just all that women do to make this world a better place. And we're going to acknowledge that. And, you know, I'm also going to say that my name is Tendai Jordan. And I have a question for you. How many of you know a woman that you feel like should be on a list of great women? And the reason I say that is because there are lists of great women who have done this and who have done that, and they should be acknowledged. But I'm thinking there's a lot of women, well, all women actually should be acknowledged, but we don't always know all the names. So I just want you, when you come here to see the replay, to put a name of a woman that you know that is courageous and wonderful and powerful. Put the name of a woman in the chat for us. Okay, so let's just do that. And the other part of today is women are being acknowledged and awarded and, you know, being made aware of, but there's certain things that are still existing in our world that it denies, ignores, you know, the presence and the spirit of women. Okay, great, Abraham Crockett. Thank you, Mel. So one of the things that I don't want to lose sight of, I guess is the best way to put it for this commemoration, celebration, acknowledgement, is women have day-to-day considerations. I don't want to use the word issues, but we have day-to-day considerations that we must pay attention to, be mindful of, that some people call it life, that we deal with. And along with all the things that we accomplish or are successful at and helping other people and taking care of this world, there are some of our day-to-day health issues, financial issues, relationship issues, well-being issues that we are and will overcome. So that's what I wanted to propose, because today we have a great, fabulous speaker, and she's going to be talking about some things that we need to pay attention to so that we can handle it, right? So we can do what we need to do to take care of ourselves in the day-to-day kind of things that we are faced with. Yes, that we come across. That's all. I mean, I'm not trying to be heavy or deep or anything, but we don't want to forget that the insurmountable sometimes experiences that we have, and we still are, saving the world. Should I say that? Okay, I'm done. So I'm going to read our guest's bio. This is, and then we'll bring her on. So Mel gets to go. Okay. Her name is Bette Vargas. She teaches women how to heal from the inside out. A certified holistic health coach and personal trainer, Bette is also a specialist in senior fitness, weight management, functional training, and behavior change. Through her unique Menopossibility Program, Bette coaches peri and post-menopausal women on how to prepare for menopause by successfully integrating better lifestyle choices and fully engaging body, mind, and spirit as an inseparable whole for total wellness. A champion race walker and former USA track and field official, Bette has trained in some of the most exclusive fitness facilities, from the Empire State to the Golden State, presented at conferences for major corporations and produced events focused on fitness. She hosts the Crazy Sexy Menopause YouTube channel and believes optimum health, true love, and vibrant sex is possible for women at any age. I'm for that. She says your dreams can come true. It all begins with intention. So if you would please join me in welcoming our guest today, Miss Bette Vargas.
Hello.
Hey, beautiful.
Hi, Tendai. Thank you so much for inviting me to embracing your life. This
Yes.
talk. I'm excited.
I'm happy that you're here. Bette and I have been
Yes.
friends for a while now.
Yes, we have.
Yes, we have. We've done some projects together, and we hang out sometimes, and she walks, but I don't walk as fast as her. She got her thing, and it's beautiful. So welcome. We're happy to have you here. Happy to
I'm
have
so
you.
happy to be here.
So we start out as we always do with our interviewees, just to get and open up, knowing that we are powerful women. So when you hear that term, women are powerful, Bette, what comes to mind? How does that feel for you?
What powerful, and especially in the way that you've spelled it, means that we are full of the power that's already in us, waiting to
Mm,
express itself. We are who we've been waiting for, and everything that we think that we need from the outside is already in us. It's already within us. We know everything that we need. All we have to do is tap into it.
and we are powerful.
We absolutely,
FUNL.
we are
Absolutely. Thank
full.
you for that. We are full of power.
That's right.
Now we just need to embrace it, right? More and more
Absolutely.
and more and more. Thank you for that. That's beautiful.
And allow it to come through.
Allow it to come through from the
Mhm.
inside out. Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Like you
Exactly.
said, it's already there.
It's already there.
It's already there. Thank you for saying that. And so just tell us, okay, the next question is to tell us a little bit about you, right? So just, I mean, I read your bio, but what brought you to doing what the kind of work you do, darling?
Well, I'll just, I've been physically active literally all my life. My parents started me in little dance classes when I was in kindergarten. So I've been performing on stage since then. And so physical activity actually has been the spine of my life. I was discovered actually as a race walker, walking down the street, and the person who discovered me was actually an elite masters champion race walker, and he told me that I had a natural form. And at that particular time I didn't believe him, because this was in New York. This person was following me, and the faster I walked, the faster he walked. And so I was like, look, I don't know who you are, but stop following me. And that's when he shared with me who he was, and he gave me some information on how to look him up to verify his credentials, which I did. And so he showed me some techniques that actually brought me to the realization that, hey, this is really cool. I knew about it. I knew about race walking because my children were in track and field, but I had never seen adults do it. So I
Mm,
didn't know that it was a sport for that adults participated in. But anyway, so that was my entree into race walking. And parallel to that, I was also working out in the gym, and realized that I liked working out. And I was actually discovered again by several of the trainers that suggested that highly suggested that I participate in bodybuilding competitions. And that wasn't necessarily something that I wanted to pursue, simply because I was putting my children through school and they were my major focus. So I was basically taking the focus off of myself and putting it on my children to make sure that they had the proper education, and just activities that would uh, help them to be more well-rounded. So anyway, I found that I wanted to help other women more so than I wanted to help myself in terms of health and well-being. So that's when I flipped the script and became a trainer myself. I became a trainer and a coach, and so um, um, that whole experience was just monumental for me, because it helped me to, even though fitness became it naturally for me, um, it wasn't, I had to look at it from a different perspective in terms of dealing with other people and women specifically. So as I began to move into the menopause experience, my training as a coach and as a trainer helped me to become more empathetic. This menopause totally took me by surprise. It was not anything that I thought would be as challenging as it is.
But
Because
before you get into the menopause, I want to hear that
Mhm.
story. I want to hear that story for sure, because that's what we're going to be talking about. But before you go there, because I want that to be like coming after, so you have the time
Okay.
to deal with that with us. Tell us a little bit before you get into that about how you came to, because this is part of what we learn here is building our muscles, so to speak, in your language. I'm using your language.
Yes, you are.
Building our muscles to be able to say no when we need to say no, and yes when
Mhm.
we need to say yes. And it takes that practice. It
Yes.
takes consistency. It takes
Mhm.
having a vision, and all that. So, what was it that you, or how did you, or what is your story around your no story and your yes story, using those powerful two little words to get you where you wanted to get also? How did that help?
Well, it's a personal story. It has nothing to do with fitness
Yeah.
in that sense. But it was during the time when I was married and to my first husband, and I was in a position where you know, I wanted I wanted the fairy tale. I grew up in a two-parent household until my mom died when I was 10, but it was a happy time and in my life, and I wanted my children to experience that same dynamic. And so when I realized that my marriage was not what I expected, even I tried to um, make it work. And that's what we as women do. We stay longer than we need to, or longer than we should. And so it was at that time where I was like, okay, you know what, this is not working. But yet and still that conflict was there, that I didn't want to be a statistic. I didn't
Mm,
want my children to be a statistic. I wanted to, I wanted this happy life. And and I wanted my children to have a happy childhood. But then it occurred to me that, you know what, my children are not going to be happy if we're not happy. If I'm not happy in my relationship with this man that I married, then that's what they're going to see, and that's what they're going to emulate. And so um, I realized that my children could still have a happy childhood with parents who are happy apart. And so I said no to the relationship, and yes to my life, and yes to my happiness, and yes to my future, because the I was losing myself. I was
mm,
losing myself in the relationship, trying to make make something real that was fake. And so that's where
mm.
I said yes to myself.
Absolutely. Thank you. Were you, yeah, I know you mentioned this before, do you think that you or consider yourself a people pleaser person at that time?
I did. I absolutely did think that I was a people pleaser, and that was just the way that I grew up.
Mm,
I came from an era of, children are to be seen and not heard, just stay in the background, don't make any waves, yeah, just be quiet. And um and that's how I was for a long time until a one of my a distant cousin shared with me after we reconnected, and she said, "My goodness, I've been looking for you on television. Where have you been?" And she brought back to me who I was. And she said,
mm,
you have always had a light that shined really bright. And so it was during that time where I was like, okay, you know what? I forgot who I was.
okay.
I forgot who I was when I was the little girl after my mother died, and then I forgot who I was in my relationship, trying to something make myself into someone other than who I actually was,
I
and
love it.
hiding in the shadows, and always behind the camera, and never in front of the camera. And look at me now.
Look at you now. Absolutely. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And I was wondering when you were sharing that, what was the thing that might have, shifted the way you were thinking and the way you were living, and believing. And maybe that was your cousin who just like brought something up that was already there, but it's like for me, you got to kind of slap me in the face sometimes. Some people said I'm hard headed, but so,
Yeah,
but still, sometimes it takes that one little sentence or that one little question, and
yeah,
it will turn things around and like, what? Like, I've heard women say, like, is this all life is supposed to be about? You know,
right,
and
right,
you
right.
come to a conclusion that this is not what you want, and then you get that courage, you get that confidence. Now you can, shift
For
in your thinking
me,
and shift. Yeah.
yeah, but for me, during that time, it was during my childhood, my it was the traumatic experience of my mother's death that
Mm,
totally it had such a profound effect on my life that I completely forgot a lot of my childhood. I forgot who I was.
mm,
I had literally no recollection of my childhood during that time. And
yeah.
then it was actually speaking to people and speaking to relatives and people who knew her and who knew me during that time. Gradually, it became uh, my memories started to come back.
Mm,
And
mm,
so when I had that conversation with her, God bless her, because she is now an ancestor, and I'm just so eternally grateful for that reconnection, because she knew my mother and she knew me as who I was during that
mm,
particular time. And so I was able to recall who I was and the
yeah.
power that I had, and embrace it,
Absolutely.
and grow from it. So yeah,
That's
sometimes
beautiful.
it's not necessarily a person, but it's an activity or an event that happens in your life that totally changes the trajectory of your future.
Right, right. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. I know that was very personal.
Mhm.
Um, and so, what we want to get to is your journey into being this sexy, wonderful, beautiful person, not only with the wellness and the exercising, which I don't like. I, I'm better at it, but I don't like it.
Who does? Who does?
You do. You said you did.
No, you know what? I did a video. I did a video. And a short of, you know, we don't always like doing things. Medicine doesn't taste good, but it does make us feel better.
But I always like dancing. I don't.
See,
I
and
always like
so it's not about exercise, it's about
it
movement,
is.
it's about what makes you feel good.
Yeah.
And so it's like doing what it is that makes you feel good. That is the best thing. I mean, I'm not always up to working out, but I know how it makes me feel. I feel great. I
And you
don't
look great.
feel, thank you. And I don't feel the 68, I'll be 69 this year, but I don't feel those 69 years. So
And
when I'm working out, when I'm doing my
yeah.
best. So
So how do we go from there to your focus on menopause right now? Because that is super important. That has to do with women. And the other thing I'm aware of that you do is how important it is for younger women who never, I know I did never think about menopause at 20 and 30, probably not till I turned 40 something, that I saw something on TV.
mhm.
And so that is I think, the norm. I don't know about outside this country with other women, but even women in the world, that's something that we all experience, that we have in common. So how does that, especially with younger women, how did you come to, being an advocate for that?
Well, again, it goes back to my life as a child, because I did not have a mother to usher me through the milestones of womanhood. And so when my children were growing up, I have two daughters and twin sons. And so when my daughters were growing up, I realized that um, the ages that they were and that I was at the time that they were growing up, it it revealed to me how much I had missed, and how much I depended on other women and even books to help me in my development into womanhood. And so while I did seek out mentors and wise women, um, I also looked at myself and said, okay, if I needed this wisdom, if I needed a mentor to help me through this time in my life, then there must be other women out there who have had the same experience. They may not, their mothers may not have transitioned at a young age, but they may not have had a mother um, to talk to. And as we know, the discussions weren't being had. And so I felt like it's so important. If I had known what I know now, then I would have done things a little differently. I would not have been so cavalier about my youth and my fitness. I would not have been as negligent with my nutrition. Even though I was a vegan, I still ate junk food. And before
What?
transit,
I don't believe it. So,
honey,
yeah.
let me tell you, when I was young, I could eat two Big Macs, two large orders of fries, and a milkshake.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
and not even give a thought about about weight. So yes,
Yeah, I
I
know. You're,
did. And
you're a
so,
real. You're a real person. You're a
but
real.
and then like Maya Angelou said, when you know better, you do better.
Do better. Yeah. So what do you think? um, again, and I know you have programs and your YouTube channel and stuff like that, but if you just give us a little bit of what you think young women or why young women need to know about menopause. We don't start dealing with it until some people deal early, I understand. But what is it that can we read a book about it, or, because our mothers, I know mine, and they don't talk about menopause. Even with our mothers here present with us at the time, I don't, they don't talk about menopause. And it's one of those little secret kind of things, those hidden things that they don't want to tell you, I guess, is so that you'll continue to grow older otherwise.
Be like,
So,
oh Lord.
so what is it why do we need to need mentors like yourself, coaches, people who give out this information when, the doctors can tell you, and there's books to read. What do you think about, what's out there for us to know and what you can offer? And people like you.
Well, for women of color, actually, there's not a lot of information. It's just being studied. We don't present differently. We don't present the same in our experiences culturally or ethnically, and so that is a reason to look into what's happening. Look, and as opposed to looking outside of yourself for information and Google and all of that, look within. Listen to your body. Know your body, um, because the things that are happening for you may not happen with someone else. Each one of us is unique as a fingerprint, and that is exactly how our menopause experience is going to be as well. Even within the same family, a mother will not present the same as her daughter. And it's not a situation where you can say, okay, so this happened with so and so, but so my experience is going to be the same. One thing, there are some signs and symptoms that you can look for that are general, but across the board. But with regard to the longevity, and how long the symptoms last is completely different. African American women, their experience in menopause lasts way longer than any other group, and it's not really known why. Some people will say that it's environmental, or it's cultural, or it has something to do with the foods that we eat, or those types of things. And so it's important. That's why I say it's important to know your body. It's important to know what is and I there are no studies with regard to this, but how your menstrual cycle presents itself is pretty much how your menopausal experience is going to be. So if you have painful periods and things of that nature, look at that. But it can be helped, because those are what can help those issues are exercise, um, having calcium and magnesium supplement, including adding those supplements to your diet in the form of food. And I say this because I had painful periods during the time that I was menstruating, and what I learned is that um, having premenstrual periods, or painful, having PMS is indicative of a calcium and magnesium deficiency. So look at those areas in your life, in your health, in your nutrition, and see if you're deficient in those areas, include foods that are going to assist in building up those minerals in your body. Exercise. When I began exercising, my my menstrual cramps totally went away,
Mm,
totally went away, and I kept exercising. So and so I never had those issues. Now and I'll share with you this: when I stopped exercising, because I did stop exercising for a while, that was when I realized the my premenopausal symptoms coming on. So, and then when I started back exercising, those symptoms just began to lessen. So it's not, so we can totally see what's going to happen with our bodies based on the things that we do for ourselves. So that's why I feel that exercise is extremely important prior to moving into
yeah,
perimenopause,
yeah,
because it lessens those symptoms. It totally lessens those symptoms.
yeah. Definitely can tell, my sister, that you are a wealth of information and experience, and that's important, because you're speaking from a place of not only just knowledge but experience, and having, gone through certain things and healed, alleviated a lot of those things. And
Mhm.
I would love to have you back again, and we can get more into it. But one of the things before we close, if you could speak on a little bit about, because what happens is, why don't we talk about it more? Why don't we? And what is, how let me ask this, do people, women of color, families, and Black women, is the discussions around it different? Is it hidden? Are there myths that just running rampant about menopause, where it is something that we don't look forward to because we don't know about it, and nobody talks to us about it? And doctors, of course, they're very clinical, but is there some way to break through, or is that an issue? Let me just start there, and then we're gonna go ahead and bring this to a close and bring you back one day. How about that?
That would be wonderful. I'd be happy to come back. And I do think that different cultures experience menopause differently. In Western society, the focus is on youth. And, so the youth industry is billions, trillions of dollars, that is put into that industry, because women want to be younger, feel younger, look younger, and so and also media exacerbates that. So it's not so it's like women are when some women feel that they're invisible after they reach a certain age. um, the media perpetuates that.
Mm,
But there are cultures, and to your question with regard to why isn't it talked about, I think that the African American women, and I've spoken to African women, or so women who are of different cultures, um, they don't look at menopause the same, because
mhm,
aging aging is revered. Menopause is just another phase of life. It doesn't mean
mhm,
that your life is over. It just means that the cycle of childbearing is coming to an end with perimenopause. And
mm,
so it's not about your life ending, because you your life is literally just beginning. when your children are a little older, they're more independent. You become, you can get back to where you were before you had children. You can start a new venture, start a new way of living. Some people get divorced, some people get married, like
Get
me.
married.
I mean,
Yeah.
you find the love of your life. You just it's an opportunity for renewal. It's a time of regeneration. It's a time of a reawakening.
Thank
So it's not about my life is over. It's like, how much more do I have to
you.
give?
Yeah, let's do this. Okay. I love it. I love that. And I love that you're approaching it in a way and offering it in a way that is more exciting and something to look forward to, as opposed
Absolutely.
to something to be running from or not talk about or hide or feel bad
Absolutely.
about. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for that. That's fabulous. That's a
Embrace
great,
it.
because the name of your thing is Crazy Sexy Menopause, and so we could get into that. You know what I'm saying? We could get that idea, like, okay, I don't have.
Yes, and just
Menopause.
just to say that, crazy sexy menopause is recognizing and understanding the crazy unpredictability of menopause. But then the sexy part is embracing that beauty, that wonderful, vibrant woman that you are, that just loving who you are and embracing the confidence and all of the fabulousness that comes with aging, that
Embracing
wisdom.
yourself. That's
You hear men talk about when men get honest about how they feel about women. They don't talk about a woman's looks in terms of what is sexy to them. They talk about her confidence, her self-assuredness, her self-assertiveness. They talk about those things. Those things are sexy to them, her independence. And so women need to embrace that within themselves and know that that's who you are. That's who you are.
absolutely,
That's who you always have been.
absolutely.
Love it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank
Thank
you.
you.
That, I mean, it's so true, and it is all about eh, seeing yourself as power, embracing it. Embracing that power, embracing your life.
Absolutely.
I love it. You're fabulous,
Thank
and oh my
you.
goodness, this was absolutely beautiful. And I'm knowing that when folks come to see this, we're going to be sending out the replay, so you all will have the opportunity, because you was at work or you was out, swimming, or that's okay. That's
Living
okay.
life.
Living life.
Living life and
I hope
living
some of
life
you
vibrantly.
exercising, and
That's
at the
right.
gym. Yeah, okay. So, but it's all good. It's all
It's
good,
all
because when we're
good.
taking care of ourselves and loving ourselves, then that's what make life, grand. That's what life is,
Absolutely.
really, being fulfilled. So I know we all appreciate you being here, what you have to share with us, and I know you have loads and loads more. So, sisters and brothers, we have um, Betty is going to be leaving her in the comment section. I think it's going to be in the comments. Mel will put it in the comments. She takes care of us. Her website, so you can go check out the website and see all the delicious, wonderful things she does. And also, she's on YouTube. They don't call them podcasts on YouTube, do they? She has a program on YouTube with more and more information. And
Crazy
this is
sexy
good for, hey,
menopause.
Linda Lamb. This information is good for men and women,
It is.
because
And
we're,
let me share
yeah,
why it's good for men. because all men have a woman in their life in some
Yes,
capacity. They have an aunt, a mother, a
a
sister,
mother.
a
Mhm.
girlfriend, a wife, a significant other, whomever. You've got a woman in your life. And so you need to know about menopause because you need to know what she's going through and how you can support her in that endeavor and how you can be patient and knowing that, okay, you know what? She's going through this. Let me love her through it.
Right, right. Together, together.
Yes,
It's sexy, guys. It's sexy.
that's right.
Yes, yes. Linda Lamb is with us, so we're going to greet her. And thank you, Linda. She says it's good
Hey,
information.
Linda. Thank you.
Happy to have her. Yes, and so like I said, check Bette Vargas out. She has wonderful information. She's a beautiful person. She's my sister, my friend, my colleague, and we're going to just bring this to a close and definitely uh, know that self-care is self-love. And when you love yourself, you take really, 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 really good care of yourself. Yes?
Yes, yes,
Thank you all. We
yes.
will see you next week for the continuation of the International Women's Month and with fabulous
Happy,
topics that we're going to be talking about. So we'll
yes.
see you next week.
Happy International Women's Day.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. And let me bring this, that will be my job, to a close.